What's good, YouTube? We got a whole ton of new deck idea suggestions from the tournament stream the other day, and the one that I talked about that I hated the least was YUBEL. Now, I guess, admittedly, that was a pretty low bar. However, I gotta say, I think this deck sort of exceeds my expectations a little bit. I didn't get to play it a whole lot, so I don't exactly know, but it looks kind of cool. It felt kind of cool when I was playing it. Really, the YUBEL cards, the fact that they summon from hand, deck, or graveyard makes it seem a lot less bad than I originally thought. And the idea I had of using Limit Reverse, which you always play with YUBEL, but using it with Vortex Trooper, because Vortex Trooper means you can put back the bricks when you draw them. I think that really tied things together pretty well. So this is the list we ultimately came up with. Obviously, we're on that triple tomato because tomato can get you to the YUBEL super easily. We're also on Raiko's, just to like mill the YUBEL so we can bring it back with Limit Reverse, I guess. I don't know. A lot of this is kind of haphazardly thrown together. I think we could make some switch around kind of stuff. I think the Raikos are good. I think the tomatoes and dad were maybe a little bit more questionable. Sork was definitely, it was okay-ish. I don't know. I think I had originally had it in a version with Hamster where I felt like it was easier to get to Raiko, but I feel, yeah, I don't know. I think in the future I would probably put these Dark Simorgs in the main, and instead of like some of this Treeborn Frog other boss monsters, because these are kind of a holdover from an earlier version of the build I was messing with. So I think like Simorg would actually be a better thing in here since we play a ton of Winds and Darks. I think it would be super easy to enable Dark Simorgan. It's like a decent boss monster, and it's a way to capitalize off of your milling besides just Limit Reverse. I think you could use another outlet for that. But then other Limit Reverse targets, of course, Card Trooper, Sangam, triple Debris Dragon. Debris Dragon's pretty cool because it can just summon YUBEL also. And the YUBEL that comes back is negated. So it doesn't even have like the tribute condition, I don't think. So that's like pretty cool. It's sort of like a Limit Reverse in and of itself. So Debris Dragon, Limit Reverse, super good in here. Spells, we got Allure, we got Charge. Could maybe throw in a Lila with the Charge. I guess that would be okay. That would be something you could do as well. Then I'm on Trunade. Trunade is pretty good with the Limit Reverse. Obviously, it's another dead spell trap removal card against like Frogs and Lightsworn and Dragon Turbo. So that is something to be concerned about. But you can just like bounce your own Limit Reverses and stuff and go crazy plus. So I think the Trunade's pretty solid. You could also theoretically build a version of this with Magic Planter. I didn't go that route, but I had experimented with that route. So if you wanted to go like Magic Planter Fiendish Chain, that could also be something you do. I just didn't have room for that in this build, but you know, it's an option, just something I should mention. But yeah, I gotta say, I think the like YUBEL floating is actually pretty solid. Like it gets into these annoying like Terra Incarnate's really annoying because it just blows up the field end phase, and then if you out it, it just floats into Ultimate Nightmare anyway, which also is just annoying to out. And then like you can just do it all over again, even if they out that. So the YUBEL guys are annoying. They don't provide a lot of pressure by themselves into an empty board, which is the main problem I think you need to solve. So maybe you could just throw in some like Caiuses and some Dark Simorgs. Like I said, this is a very experimental preliminary thing, but I think we talked enough about the build. Like the extra is just a bunch of dragons, besides just some generic ass stuff with the Dark Simorgs thrown in there. We can go ahead and look at the replays. So the first match, this is a full match against Ancient Forest Aliens. Ancient Aliens? That's a cool name. We're going to go with that. We're going to call it Ancient Aliens. So we get absolutely owned for setting our Raiko first, which, yeah, I don't usually like setting Raiko first. Maybe I should have set Treeborn first, but I think Treeborn was just like bad in here, as just like shouldn't be in the deck anymore. I guess it helps you like normal summon YUBEL if you want to go that route, but like that's normally not what you're doing. Normally what you're doing here, just like putting them back with the Vortex Trooper. I put back the dad because I felt like we were ways away from getting that card live. We set just to play around Morphing Jar, I guess. Fortunately, the Ancient Forest did like a lot of work for us in this matchup, which was hilarious because it let us just like pop our stuff whenever we want. So they draw into Solemn Judgment, which is actually rough because they didn't have the stop before. Very funny. They go Alien Warrior. Here I decided to get rid of the Fossil Dino so we can attempt to go for the Debris Dragon play. We get Planet Pollutant Virus to though, but we still get to draw one. I think We get torrential, so did we forget to put counters on anything here? No, I think everything just dies anyway, so it doesn't matter. We'll just get booked. Here he goes for Ammonite, and obviously we don't want to let him start Golgar popping our stuff, so I think I chain here. He can get 1A counter, but that's not enough. Our guy gets flipped up. He doesn't attack, though. We go for brain control. He has the Solemn Judgment, because obviously if he lets us brain that, we're going to bounce back his field and then like pop one of his back row. It would be a disaster. We drop Sork, though. He tries to Fiendish our Sork. We go Book of Moon. The funny thing we could have done here is we could have held the book and just like Tribute Summoned YUBEL, attack, Ancient Forest would kill it. And then we just go into Terra Incarnate and blow up his guy. Maybe you should play Ancient Forest YUBEL. Maybe that's a thing we should do. I don't know. It does seem like kind of good. I don't know. The Ancient Forest was helpful. You know what I'm saying? It was very helpful. But we end up using Book to dodge the Fiendish Chain and then just get in for 19. And then the Ancient Forest lets us draw another card. Oh, he draws Pot of Avarice, though. I'm like, what the hell is going on? His deck's on main deck Dyna, main deck Pot of Avarice. Very weird alien build, but whatever. We're just here to like get the feel for how our cards work. We're not looking to test against meta anyway. So we go into a YUBEL here. I think it was the last target in deck. Here's a weird moment. He soul releases me, and I decided to limit reverse one of the guys, and I just like could not find a ruling online anywhere about whether soul release fizzles. Like the card really reads like it's the same as Pot of Avarice, and it should fizzle if one of the targets leaves the graveyard, because it just targets 5, and if one of the 5 leaves, you would think that the card would just resolve with no effect or something. But I didn't actually know that for sure, and cards can be weird in retro formats especially, so I just decided not to argue and like let him banish all my stuff. But if anyone knows how that works, I would like to know, because like I literally scoured the internet for like 10 minutes to see if I could find... It's insane, actually, that I couldn't find a ruling for freaking Soul Release versus Call of the Haunted. That seems like a super basic thing, but I just couldn't find it anywhere. And obviously we have Lethal here with Compulse plus the Chaos Sorcerer getting in directly. But yeah, that did kind of throw me for a loop. I don't know why there's no... How has there never been a ruling on Soul Release versus, like, some kind of, like, thing that gets rid of the targets? That's just crazy to me. Why should I have to like ask a judge to figure that out? I don't know. Anyway, he randomly Typhoons my limit reverse, so we just get to summon Terra Incarnate. And now I just say, fuck it, we're just gonna start popping our own cards with Terra Incarnate. Now he does have a Sangan, so he gets a search. So I guess that wasn't optimal, but he goes for brain control. I don't even know why he did this. Because I guess the plan was to attack and then pop it with Ancient Forest, but then we get to summon the Ultimate Nightmare from our deck. I guess the plan was we would summon the Ultimate Nightmare and then Fossil Dino would take it out. I guess that was the plan. I decided just Judgment, which honestly I probably wouldn't have normally done, but I was afraid he was going to like tribute over my guy and then it would miss timing. And then I'd be like, dang, I didn't get to summon the Ultimate Nightmare. No, I want to summon the Ultimate Nightmare. Which I think we do end up doing. We use the Ancient Forest to do it, by the way. So we attack with both these guys, and they both die. So we get the Ultimate Nightmare, we get a Sangan Search, and now we got the big boy. He decides, weirdly, to just attack into YUBEL. I don't know why he did that. So we go Heavy Storm, and then Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Chainlink 3, draw 3 cards. Maybe I should have gotten a Sangan to add another Debris, actually, but because we need pressure. But we just make an Ancient Fairy Dragon, and then we got a ton of defense, and he's got an Ultimate Nightmare that he has to play into, which very funny that we got to summon our big boss monster. It actually wasn't even that hard. It was vaguely kind of difficult. Yeah, it's probably worth having the Ultimate Nightmare in there. Terra Incarnate's super easy to summon with like the limit reverse shenanigans and stuff, or whatever. But Ultimate Nightmare a little bit harder, but we got it out in the end, and we actually burn for lethal with the Ultimate Nightmare over the defense mode Alien Warrior. So very funny that we got to kill them with our big boy. Other match. Oh man. Look at what my opponent is playing, man. Imagine playing Edison format and you're like, you know what I want to play? Gladiator Beast Gravekeepers. And I make a really stupid decision. I should have played like any of my other cards besides Raikou. I don't know why I summoned Raikou, but we get rewarded for it, sort of, because he just summons a Glad and attacks it. So, I mean, I guess we're kind of doing fine here. He brings back the guy. I think we just go Mirror Force, because I'm saving my Typhoon for that Necro Valley, obviously. Here he goes for the Gravekeeper guy, and then he just decides to attack. So I'm kind of cool with that. I hit a random back row with the Raikou, obviously, because it's in the damage step. It's nice. We can hit something and he can't respond to it. Here we go Tomato, gets Sangan. Then he tries to out my back row. We Typhoon the Necro Valley because 2 of our cards in hand lose to the Necro Valley. We go to attack. He actually doesn't deprison my Sangan, which I think he probably should have deprisoned the Sangan, but whatever. We try to hit over this thing. Now he deprisons. Then we drop Sork. He doesn't book his guy. We just set a dude. We attack indirectly. Now we get booked. We Raikou. I guess the plan was to go for Stardust here. Do we end up doing that? I think we still... No, we mill a YUBEL. So I'm like, let's get back to YUBEL with the Debris Dragon. Because I believe if this gets destroyed by battle, it will still go off. I don't see any reason why that... And the only question mark over my head is if the, like, end phase tribute thing, is that, like, a condition? I don't think it is. I think it should just be negated. And then when it... Yeah, I think it should just, like, be fine. I think I should be able to bring back this YUBEL, and it should still go off when it's destroyed here. Someone let me know if I'm wrong about that. There's a lot of weird ruling questions in this video. Because it feels like cheating. It feels like you shouldn't be able to debris back YUBEL and then just have it, like, get run over and go into Terra Incarnate, but I think it works. I mistakenly put my guy in defense mode, which there's like is strictly dumb. It should just be in attack mode so we can have the effect that does damage. Anyways, we end phase nuke the board, get our Treeborn to grave, kill his guy, and then they're out of rota targets or something, so they just leave. Or no, wait, how can they be out of rota targets? They haven't summoned any warriors yet. Maybe they were playing rota in their deck with no warrior somehow or something, but yeah, I don't know. They just kind of quit the game, which, fine. I don't want to play more games against Gravekeeper Gladiator Beast anyway. But, yeah, that was the sort of incomplete second match that we got to play. Overall, like I said, we didn't get a great idea of how we would compete versus meta, but the deck actually seemed to function okay. I think the YUBEL cards were surprisingly less bad than I thought they would be. It's, like, pretty easy to resolve the, like, float into Terra Incarnate, and then once you do that, it's actually kind of annoying. So, I don't know. Seemed decent. I might mess around with it more, honestly. I might actually... I thought this was going to be some one-off meme video. Maybe I'll mess around with it more. We'll see. But, yeah, that's going to wrap up this video. As always, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments. I'll see you next time. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.